All right, glad to have you back. You're still watching Newsnight. The Cross River State Government recently regained ownership of the Tinapa Business Resort from the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, conceived in 2007 by former Governor Donald Duke as a business and leisure hub with free trade zone status. Tinapa was designed to boost trade, tourism, and investment in the state. However, AMCON took it over in 2011 following inability to pay back loans taken on the project. Speaking at the handover ceremony in Calabar, Governor Basio too said reclaiming the facility signaled the restoration of a landmark economic asset and the revival of a bold development vision. Well, with us to speak on the return of Tinapa by AMCON to Cross River State is the Commissioner for Finance, Cross River State, Michael Odere. Michael, glad to have you join.
Our pleasure is mine, indeed.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Now, Tinapa has been restored to Cross River State. What next?
Oh, okay. Very interesting question, straight to the point. It's be good to understand why Tinapa in the first place.
Yeah.
Tinapa business is was meant to be a business and leisure hub. So it's a combination, a hybrid of both business. So we make money and have fun. So we all know Cross River State is the tourism hub of Nigeria. I mean, we know that. For a very long time, Cross River State was one of the only places you want to go to for December. And we had to build on that background that we had. That's why Tinapa was created. But then you can have tourism and then make money. So the idea was make money and then play. But yes, it was a very expensive project. I think it cost close to $500 million at the time. I mean, you can imagine what that is today. And a lot of facility went in, a lot of funds went in, and then we borrowed. Of course, we didn't have the resources to do that, to put up those facilities.
So that was why AMCON took control of it?
AMCON took control, yeah, because it couldn't repay itself.
Has that totally been taken care of?
Definitely. So we've taken it over, so legal ownership now belongs to us. It's interesting to know that, I mean, for over 10 years, AMCON took it over. Nothing significant happened. And so you just had facility rotting away, a big investment like that.
I'm going to come to that.
Yeah. So what next? For us, it's not sacrosanct that we know exactly where we're going, but we have an idea of where we want to go to. New information, new terrain, economy is different, and especially at this time when we're talking about food security in Nigeria, there's a lot of things we can do with Tinapa. We're talking about integrating in the forward, the agricultural sector, both forward and backward. So if you're taking the farms, we have the most fertile vegetation in land in the country, if I might say. We can grow literally anything in Cross River State, but where are the processing factories? And if you're not manufacturing, if you're not processing, you're not adding the value, you're losing value. So there are opportunities in the agri space. I mean, we sit at the Gulf of Guinea. Cross River State just at Bakassi is on the Gulf of Guinea. The Gulf of Guinea is where most of the fishing activity in the whole of the West Africa and Central Africa takes place. But do we have any processing factory in Cross River State that just sits there at the Atlantic, at the Gulf of Guinea? No, we do not. There's a big opportunity in that space too.
All right. Because a few years back, correct me if I'm wrong, Calabar, come and live and be at rest. Is that what it is?
Yeah, come and live and be at rest.
Yeah.
You know that.
I remember, yeah. I just wanted to
sure.
make sure I remember that. Now the place has been abandoned this long. How is the government intending to resuscitate it and attract business again?
Okay, so it's interesting. We're already talking to businesses. In fact, businesses are already talking to us. And for some of the businesses, the highest hurdle was the fact that we did not have legal ownership. Because, I mean, if you want to take over an asset that has everything that you need, you want to check who really owns it, if there are encumbrances. And when they check and they see that we do not legally own the facility, of course, you know that people begin to
draw back.
Yeah, they begin to draw back. They probably will not tell you, but if you're a real businessman, you know why they're drawing back. So it was critical that we first of all take ownership, right, of the assets. Trust me, there are a lot of people queuing up right now in discussion, trying to get to talk to us. People that had come before and gone, they're trying to come back to the table and The truth is, we can't afford the construction of that facility right now, even at its present state. That facility right now is worth over 600 billion naira. I mean, we can't afford to put in that kind of money.
Originally, of course, it was a public-private.
Yeah, it was owned by government, but there were interests. So it's an incorporated company, and then people had invested in shares. And of course, we intended that was going to be self-liquidating, and there were also loans, so we're going to liquidate the loans. So interest was diluted a little bit in some shares.
The government just took it over this November. I don't know whether I'm running ahead, but I'll still ask this question anyway about the free trade zone status. What will it be like now that the government has taken it over?
I think this status remains because we all this while we did not lose communications with the authorities responsible. Of course, there are fees that you need to pay, statutory fees. So those fees also form part of the liabilities we had on the facilities and all of this. So it was an all-encompassing discussion that we had. We had looked at the facility in all of its present states, and then what to bring it back to a self-liquidating status. It's interesting to also know that I don't know if you're familiar with the special agro-processing zone, a
in
project
Tinapa, in Cross River,
in the world, in Nigeria.
Okay.
Cross River State is one of the first states to have the special agro-processing zone. Now, what this zone is supposed to do is to integrate forward in the agri sector, and this zone for Cross River State is supposed to also be like a free, have a free trade status. It's just by Tinapa. There's a reason why it's there. The locational advantage of Tinapa, of course, it has a water path beside it, so goods can move from anywhere just to the entrance of Tinapa, of the resort. So it gives us that advantage. It gives us a corridor to take your goods in and out, and of course, the vegetation is extraordinary, and the people are lovely. And the free trade status, back to your question. The free trade status still stays, it remains, and it's still there.
Okay, so let's talk about the future outlook for Tinapa. What is the future outlook for Tinapa?
Well, what kind of business? Not sure, because we are taking our time and taking our options. We like to assess self. We took an assessment basically when we came into power. And first, I forgot to say, we need to give credence to the governor of Cross River State, executive governor of Cross River State, St. Prince Bassey, those two. When he came in, he said he wasn't going to let any assets of the state government
lie waste.
One of the biggest issues we have in the country is abandoning projects, and a lot of funds go into abandoned projects. We have restructured over 10 projects from the cultural center, which I think is one of the best in the country. I mean, for culture and tourism, to big government offices. One of it is the local government commission's headquarters. A very big facility, been abandoned for over 20 years. He's fixed it up already. To other projects that other administrations had, factories that they built, we try to reactivate all of those things. So it's a common resource, and we cannot waste it. So I give credence to the governor for doing that. Yeah. So for Tinapa, what next? Where are we going? It's not defined, right? Because we don't want to have a one size fits all. It's a big facility. I don't know if you've been there.
I have not, but I've heard about it. It's quite large.
Yeah, it's a very large facility.
Huge expanse.
Yeah. Yes. So the plan is we don't intend to run Tinapa. I mean, government has no business running business, if you ask me. Our responsibility is to create the enabling environment, create everything. So we intend to hand over Tinapa to a major company or a partner that will in turn lease or give or go into partnership with different companies that are interested in doing different
In other
things.
words, you're going to invite companies to bid or something of the sort?
Oh, definitely, it's going to be an open and competitive. It might not be an outright bid, but there will be some sort of invitation for a public-private partnership, and it's not tailor-made. So we want you to come with what you want to
Bring
do.
your ideas.
Bring your ideas, and we will tailor-make these ideas to suit both you and the state. So we are going to design the project. So it's going to be bespoke. We don't want to create something that is hard for people to fit in. It's not a plug and play. So
Yeah,
right,
not
so
plug and play. It has to be creative. It has to fit.
Definitely.
It has to be something.
And we're
to
having
be-
those conversations.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. The Commissioner for Finance, Cross River State, Michael Odere. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure is mine.
Wish you the
And
best with
thanks
Tinapa.
for-
Back
thanks for
again to Cross River. Hold on to Cross River State.